Of course, Ranconian is joining you once again live with the Remyrhe Gaming Poro Cup number 1. Joining me is the fantastic co-caster, the lovely, the wonderful Dundee. And Dundee, I believe we have pulled Swindrome for the third time running.
Yeah, it looks like we have them again. And after seeing those games before, I'm not really too sad about bringing them once again. I mean, they've been showing good performances consistently again and again, and we see them maybe not getting forced banned out this time, as we did see last game. We see that they're pretty versatile with their champion picks so far, and JD Pals are going to respect that, so they're just going to go for some more standard bans. The Cassidy Lucian was played last game, is going to be taken away, and we see a Maokai Nevlin, and these are more standard bans that we're used to seeing.
Yep, so obviously Maokai being banned out. They're going to ban away Evelyn and Elise this time as well, taking a lot off the table. This is really interesting compared to their bans in the last couple of games. They weren't so heavily jungle focused. Lucian's going to be taken away from Holy Grail. Won't be picking that one up this time. Mentioned the Caston. It's a standard ban. We're all used to seeing that one. And the final ban to come out, there is a lot left on the table, and that's what I love about this patch, is that there's just so much to ban. Yasuo is going to be the final ban, and rightly so. I've always considered Yasuo such a strong ban, but Dande, what do you think the first pick's going to be?
I feel like there's so much to pick in these patches, since these patches. I mean, it could really be absolutely anything. We've seen the Warwick today, we've seen the Lux come out, we've seen such good play from a number of different champions. I'm just gonna put it up in the air, and since Foxay has a champion pool that's actually a pool, I think we're bound to see something interesting.
Yep, I definitely think so. Foxay, what have you got for us? What are you going to pull out? They're going to pull out the Morgana support by the looks of things. They could be looking to lock that one in. Was played against them in the last game, but they were able to deal with it. They were able to handle it and then back away. Of course, the Morgana support did set up a really nice first blood against them in the last game, so they didn't exactly deal with it as great as they potentially would have liked to, but they got it this time, so they don't have to deal with it anymore.
Yeah, and we haven't seen this other team play yet, so we're going to leave it up into the air to see what they're going to play. Not 100% sure what that will be, but it looks like they are looking to take up a Karma this time.
Yeah, Karma Jinx, I mean, it does provide some early lane poke, but that is your bot lane already locked in. What the Jinx doesn't do well is obviously mobility. We've talked about that several times already today, but Karma really lends Jinx some mobility. Thresh is another good pick for offering that to your team. And, well, with the Karma locked in. I mean, we did see Foxay on that Fizz earlier today, but they do have an opportunity to counterpick it here. Ryze could be picked up. Incredibly strong late game champion, but bullies Fizz out really, really well in the lane as well.
Yeah, what I actually love is they picked up this Zac. I was actually waiting for someone to pick this up. I used to love playing Zac. I've been playing it a bit more recently due to the comeback to this, this AP heavy, tanky up top lane kind of thing. Against Irelia, maybe not as good, but I do like the Zac pick. It's just a good team fighting tool, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be setting that stuff up. But Zac is incredibly... What he likes to do is constantly trade, continue trading all the time up in the face of the enemy top laner. And I mean, Ryze, if they do opt to go with it here, it'll have a lot of kill pressure towards that Fizz. I already mentioned how much of a counter pick it is. Interestingly enough, Kha'Zix, I've been seeing a little bit of Kha'Zix coming back, but it hasn't been so much towards that jungle. It's been more lane oriented. I'm interested to see if they do actually opt for that one in towards the mid lane.
Yeah, it's actually curious. I was surprised to not pick up maybe something more sustainy, aggressive for that top lane. The Kha'Zix, is something we haven't seen in a while. I think we saw it maybe once in the LCS once again. It's been such a long time, but I do think it should be alright. It shouldn't be too bad, I think.
Should be too bad. Just goes tank, and then it's so disrupt heavy, and it's a great initiate. they could find themselves lacking a little bit on damage, but they shouldn't be too bad. You know, Vi and Zac do nice amounts of damage. Combo with a Morgana, you actually, between the three of them, they kind of equal up to 1 damage threat. So there is enough damage there. Fizz is high damage, obviously, and whatever AD carry you're picking up is always going to be high threat. I do like the Tristana pick here. Tristana is a heavy counter to Ryze, just pushes him straight back out of fights, and he needs to be up and in that melee range, tossing around all these spells and doing all these damage, smashing his face against the keyboard and winning that lane. I don't like this Cassiopeia. They're hovering on it. I don't think they'll lock it in, but they are hovering on it for now. And why I don't like it is, yeah, sure, she's a lane bully, but Fizz can get up in her face and trade a hell of a lot better. As soon as he gets up into her face, he's incredibly mobile. Cassiopeia is heavily reliant hitting those skill shots first. Syndra's a lot better, because she can get those long-range stuns and set up for some long-range picks for her team. And I wouldn't actually be surprised to see the Ryze towards the mid lane and the Syndra played up in towards the top lane. And look for that one. That's, in my honest opinion, that's what they'll be looking to doing. But what that does say is they're actually going to see Kha'Zix in the jungle. He has seen some nerfs there, and I'm not sure. It's going to be an interesting one to watch regardless. But yeah, I don't know. Ahri now picked in, and again, I would actually expect, especially because Ahri is so incredibly mobile and Ryze is not. Ahri can go up towards that top lane and just be safe. Post 6. You know, you have to get a gank off on her pre 6. And even then, the gank can backfire so heavily. You can't turret dive an Ahri easily in those sort of early levels. I mean, Vi and obviously that's Zac. They can get in, they can CC her, but I don't think they've got the damage that they need and they will be looking for to really offset that and get the kill going down. And yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be an interesting game.
Yeah, for sure. You know, champion hicks we haven't seen in quite a while are coming back. It's been a while since we've seen a Karma. A Kha'Zix as well is always fun to see. You know, if he can get going, I imagine he will go straight for that damage and straight for these one-shot assassinates onto the Tristana if possible. You know, I think the good thing here is that there are multiple damage threats for the purple team. I mean, you know, JD and Pals are pulling in a lot of, you know, just pure damage from all lanes as well as the jungle, and it's going to be quite effective in, you know, who do you focus down for Swindrome, because Swindrome are just going to be running around with this kind of single target damage and not being able to shut down everyone at once.
Yeah, that's definitely something that they have to be incredibly careful about, is there are many damage threats, but Fizz is good at dealing with the one that's the most potent, so they'll be looking... Fizz has a lot of options he can focus down here. He basically, the only person he can't focus down is Ryze. Even then, the Ryze Karma composition, that is a really, really nice combo, because Ryze, obviously, he has to run in there, he has to get on their face, and with a Karma, you apply Karma's speed up from her shield, and then you apply Ryze's ultimate, the desperate power. He can just rush in there with so much bonus move speed, sit on your face, and destroy an AD carry if they're not very careful.
Because normally they don't really focus on one person or another, they allow all their lanes to play it as there is and dominate slowly by themselves, and I guess this is a bit of a switch up to do this so, and I think they've switched one of their players as well. We do have Guga Bear up in that top lane, and Korotek's actually jungling now.
It will be incredibly interesting to see where this sort of switch out goes. Obviously, with the new jungler bringing in, playing Vi, they're looking for some more picks. And again, that's what the composition oozes of from Swindrome. They're looking for a binding, they're going to follow it up with a Vault Breaker, they're going to follow it up with Zac just jumping in and landing on top. And Fizz has so much damage, and Tristana as well. Incredibly good into the mid-game and later phases of the game at jumping in and blowing somebody up. And, you know, if they could look to do that, they'll be incredibly strong. But I really like the sustained fight coming out from the side of the purple side. They have a lot of burst, and then they have a really, really nice sustained fight as well. Kha'Zix can stay alive. His sustained damage is actually incredibly high. Same can be said for Jinx and Ryze, and Ari's even not all that bad. She can do that as well.
Yep, and it's good. I think we should be getting into loading screen very soon, so we'll be able to get in the game in just a moment, guys. And,
Yep.
hopefully it'll be a great game between these two. Very promising from both sides. Who do you think is really going to come up on top here?
I have to say I like this composition from Swindrome a little bit better. I mean, yeah, you obviously said that, obviously not a traditional sort of more carry lane up on the top of the Zac. Doesn't have huge amounts of kill potential, kill threat. Ari, depending upon where she's... I mean, again, we did say that Ryze does counter out Fizz. I would like to see him laning up against the Fizz in the mid lane, send Ari to the top lane. That's actually a really, really nice lane setup. And Ari can keep her distance from Zac, and she'll be totally fine. Anytime he comes in, just lends a charm and backs up once again. And, yeah, but, you know, depending upon how these lanes go, the mid game is certainly much more in favor of the guys on Swindrome.
Yeah, and what I'm really surprised about here is we're actually seeing Zac pick up Exhaust over Flash here. And that's... I'd say that's more of a detrimental thing. I think, you know, Flash is so crucial as a spell in general, but, you know, on Zac, it's pretty required if you get into those sticky situations where you jump in and you really need to get out. You're not going to have that open, and Exhaust obviously targeted for the Ryze in the late game to reduce as much damage from his burst. You see him pop ulti, you drop the Exhaust on him, he cancels out half his damage, and, you know, that is probably the idea to have it behind it, but in lane, he's just going to have a terrible time, I think.
Yeah, no matter where the Zac goes, he's not going to have a good lane. He's going to have to look to match out, I'd probably say Stretching Strike, looking for those farming opportunities, harass over the Unstable Matter. Unstable Matter does give him a lot better teamfight damage and mid-game damage, but just to safely farm up, he's going to have to go for that one.
Yeah, and once again, I think we've seen this every game out of Swindrome where they they just sit in this bottom brush hoping that someone will walk into here. I think they might have given it away there with the Fizz, not 100% sure, but they are swinging around. And it looks like they've realized something's happened to one guy. I think they did catch the end of Gagabear and Korotex as well. And they see them in the exit, they're not looking for the fight. Just early game in general, I wouldn't really want to fight a Kha'Zix or a Kha'Zix Karma, and as well as a Jinx and Ari, and frankly just their whole team looked very threatening, so looking for that dodge. Sadly, I mean, happily for them, save themselves from probably a pretty bad situation.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, if Ryze does decide to go for that Rune Prison, he hampers his early laning quite significantly. But he can deal with it okay, he's not too bad. They're actually going to send him up top lane against the Zac. Again, I'm not really proud of this, not really happy with this move and setup, but Gagabear is actually going to have a lot more kill potential with the Exhaust, but he has to be careful for ganks. He's incredibly vulnerable to ganks. And Ryze can actually get him low enough in this early portion of the game where he's highly vulnerable to ganks.
Yeah, what I'm questioning here is how the Kha'Zix is going to be able to get into lane. I mean, the Rune Prison is pretty much their only CC, you know, despite that slow, and I think as soon as that goes down, he'll have a nice time possibly jumping out if he has enough time to charge it up maybe halfway. He will be able to, you know, jump a decent portion of the lane, and frankly, he's doing a good job. He hasn't taken too much damage. I mean, Zacs, you normally see them at around 3/4 health, never really full, purely because they're spamming their spells so much and trying to pick up those blobs wherever they can. And, you know, Gagabear, if he plays it safe, should be alright. The lane should play decently alright into his favor, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, he just needs to stay healthy right now, and look at this, here comes Kha'Zix, he's going to be looking for that first gank.
Yeah, and it's a good taste time ward. They, you know, immediately back out, they know there's a ward there now, or at least in the try-wash that warned him that the enemy Kha'Zix was coming, and they're just going to back off. It wasn't too much waste of time for Kha'Zix, and in the end they get a bit of information about that. Now Korotex gets the better of this and gets onto Combustion, actually gets the damage down, and does burn Flash for that from Fizz as well. I'm surprised the Foxay was so eager to flash in to follow up on that gank. I mean, you are still playing in the early game and you know that Flash is down for Ahri, but now that's Ignite for Ahri over, you know, no summoner spells for Fizz.
Yeah, I do actually like that that movement from Foxy. Ari is now in a position where she can be killed at any time, kind of by this Fizz. Even Vi, you know, can come in and put a lot of burst damage down onto her, and Fizz generally has to touch it. Look at Fizz, he's happy to go aggressive now.
Yeah, he knows he has that playful trickster in the back pocket, so he will be able to get out of any sticky situation from the Kha'Zix, because Kha'Zix only has that one jump, and after that, you know, can't really catch up with the Fizz, so good for him to play aggressive here. Cortex trying to find the gank here, not going to find anything, actually gets sided just purely by Ryze himself. No, actually, ward was there, but the lane was pushing up, and, you know, Gugu Bear's getting, you know, to that point where he's not, you know, not going to really be worried about taking a bit of damage up in that top lane. Obviously, the CS does show he's relatively behind. He does need to pick up maybe a bit more so he can pick up that Negatron cloak on his first back. But, he's not, you know, going so low that Kha'Zix is going for the free gank, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see how this one goes. Now Ryze, this is the bad part about Ryze, is he actually goes pretty quickly in the early parts of the lane, just trying to keep up the harass, because he doesn't provide huge amounts of damage in bursts. He's a very sustained trader, and if he does try and keep that up, then he does not have the mana to sort of continue doing that for extended periods of time. Will go very quickly until he has that nice mana pool built up that'll bonus onto his damage as well. But in the meantime, doesn't seem to be doing too bad. He's just controlling that lane, forcing Zac back, forcing Zac to be the one to base first and burn that TP. But Zac
Goes to go for the Ryze. It's getting a nice lead there. Currently 300 gold up, which is potentially just a kill onto the enemy. First blood still not being taken yet, but that is pretty much the whole advantage of their team right now. You can see the 300 gold up in the top is because of that Ryze CS lead.
Yeah, 300 gold doesn't seem significant, but it is incredibly significant for a Ryze, giving him the ability to just free farm like this. And now he's just shoved the lane out. He's going to be able to TP back, not lose a single creep, and he's got that teleport as well. Zac's now come out with the Negatron Croak, so Ryze won't be able to actually put any pressure down on towards him for a significant portion of time until he gets that tier really stacked and going, until he goes back and he's looking also at the Rod of Ages, and then he'll start, you know, being able to put out damage again. You know, it's going to be interesting, but could be a dive in the mid lane.
Yeah, and the damage back onto Combuskin actually tries to pull him back in, but it looks like Cortex was actually here to back up just in case that one guy came in, and that was good prediction from both junglers. Just making sure that their mid lanes are safe. Now Zac looking to do what he does best. He's going to roam and look for that gank. I think he's going to get spotted out. Yeah, there's two wards there. He's going to get spotted out for sure. That one guy on the side. And Ryze did have to ban teleport, so he might have to shimmy it down, but he did actually pick up a Ruby Crystal as well as a Sapphire, so he's going to start pulling a lot of damage. That Catalyst is already on its way, and this early into the game is pretty good, frankly, for Ryze.
This is some really nice setups for Ryze as well. He can continue to scale off this. He can really set himself up well in this lane based off that first base. I mean, normally you want to be basing to pick up that tier as early as possible, but he's done the right option here. In this situation, I actually do think it's better to hang around and get closer to that Catalyst, because, you know, you're able to sustain that mana a lot better. Slightly higher mana, you know, you've got a lot more health regeneration. And look at the damage. He's now just able to throw it back over on towards Gugaba. And a lot of the reason of that is just a higher mana pool.
Yeah, frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if he has to just... Yeah, he's forced Gugaba.
Bottom lane, though.
Gugaba's going to have to go home. And it looks like the gank in the bot lane. Cortex looking for something onto Demacia. And he will get himself out of there, and that's actually Vi ult burn for a flash and exhaust, so actually both summon spells from both ADC and support. I think Ace might need to play a bit more carefully. He's trying to desperately push this wave in, because if it gets frozen here, he's going to be very, very screwed. Oh, and the forces the flash as well. They know that one guy has come up here. They're trying to put the pressure. They really want to dive onto this, but they don't have the mana to do so. That one guy... may look here. He's trying to put the pressure. Oh, and every Ace now caught under. He's going to get taken down. Holy Grail picks up first blood. And that was a great finding. Now looking to turn it back onto that one guy, but probably not a wise thing to do.
Yeah, mid lane though, there was a bit of a dive going down as well. Ari jumped around the turret looking for some damage underwards Fizz. Forced Fizz to really back off in that lane, and now she's starting to take that advantage. She takes that little bit longer, that level 6 to start scaling, get some more harass, more time down the, and on towards him, and it's starting to work for him. I mean, so it's a lot better position that it's going to be Combuskin actually in now. I mean, early on, ganks from Vi and stuff, that's exactly what Fizz needed to go. I mean, if you got a kill right there, Ari would not be in this situation. That's plain and simple that. But Rise up in the top lane, I mean, he's just been totally left alone. Hasn't even had to burn his flash at all. And, you know, you need to be burning Rise's flash so you can put some pressure down on towards him. He's just had total free lane. And this is going to be significant troubles for the team later on. I mean, Rise, he's free farmed. He's 67 CS. He's sitting there. He's sitting pretty. He's quite happy with how this lane scenario is going. And they need to do something about him now. And here comes the Vi just to do that.
Yeah, they've spotted out there is actually no ward, but there's going to be a pink ward in the Tribe Rush. That's going to give a good warning that Cortex is there. Enemy jungler not going to be there. They could look for a potential dive, but against the Rise, I would not. Even with that low mana, he's going to start regenerating that very soon. He will have enough for one full spell rotation.
Yeah, and look at Gugabear. He's just not in a position to even think about opting to dive right now. He just doesn't have the health for it. The wave's there, but, you know, Rise will just back up. He'll clear out the wave. He's just going to keep getting, you know, this free gold. But they want Rise to push out here. They want him to go aggressive. They're trying to bait it, and that's, you can see what's going down. But it's Gugabear just playing totally different. But here
yeah,
goes
that one guy, actually gets baited into it. That's a beautiful, after getting the name of the ultimate, sorry, Zach Ultimate comes through, and Gugabear almost takes out that one guy. But that was a beautiful let's bounce coming out from him. And the bait was there. I'm surprised they actually took the bait as well. I mean, in the end, they lose the Summoner spell, and Zach comes out pretty happy from that. I mean, if they came out with the kill, it would have been so much better, but now looking for a rotation. Cortex now moving to that mid lane, looking for Combuskin from the back end. Not actually going to know about it. He does have a Spirit Rush available, and that was beautiful timing. Combuskin's just going to burn his Spirit Rush to get out of that one, and still going to have the flash up for any further fights.
Something as well that's important to note, we've seen 2 ultimate ganks from Vi come out already, and no kills have been picked up off the back of that. It is only, the only kill in the game is coming down from Eptic Ace, has purely, onto Eptic Ace, is purely because he overstayed, he overpushed, he tried to do too much in 2v3 scenario. Yeah, the health bars were low, but they weren't low enough, so he tried to overstay, and he paid for it with his life. Vi's trying to put the pressure down, she's trying to be this big threat that she needs to be for Swindrome, but she's not able to pull it off right now, and that's important. They need to get this sort of Tristana snowballed, they need to get Foxay snowballed in the mid lane, they need to try and get Zac ahead of his lane opponent, because 25 CS is the difference up there right now, and Rise still has a flash.
Yeah, Gugabear's doing the best he can. You know, this is the pattern that Zac trying to harass here. You know, he's maxed the Q, he's going for the effectiveness over damage. I actually prefer going W just purely because the percentage health trading is a lot better there. But, you know, going it safe, not looking for any damage. Oh, that one guy actually trying to find the gank here. He isn't going to be spotted out. I think he just got spotted out by that last minion probably. So that one guy is just going to back out of there, putting a little pressure, trying to find something in the bot lane. But sadly not finding too much. I mean, there's no real you know, gank, you know, potential really coming out of this bot lane. I mean, they're running a Karma, they're looking for the poke. Same with the Jinx, they're putting pressure on, really. But at this point, you know, Tristana's getting the free farm, came out with that first blood, which was worth that 400, full 400 since it was after the 6 minute, I think.
And
so.
Zac up in the top lane. Important to note that Vi's coming around for another gank, right? He has just popped out the laugh again.
The rest of the stuff by Cortex now in a whole lot of trouble. He will go down in the trade. Foxay in a 2v1 trying to find that one guy, but I don't think he'll be able to. Oh, he actually flashes through for the combo, but I think that one guy is just going to jump over.
Yeah, absolutely. And look at that. They overstayed, overpushed, and Cortex had no mana. Could not look to continue that trade out. It's going to be a 2-for-1 trade. Combuskin obviously came back around. Fizz is incredibly mobile, low cooldowns, able to jump back and forth over the walls. Come back in when he really shouldn't have. He should have just backed off from that one and said, hey, you guys can handle this one. Fizz has got no cooldowns left. Let's just, you know, they're going to be coming back available in just a couple of seconds. But look at the health bars, look at the mana bars of the rest of our team. You guys can actually 2v3 that one and win.
Yeah, frankly, this is looking pretty good for JD and pals. They really need to start getting those kills, and getting onto the Rise is pretty much, you know, one of the best outcomes you could possibly come from. Having a late game Rise scale early is just amazing for your team, and frankly, should allow everyone else to hopefully pick up something later in those mid-game team fights that they're looking towards.
He's going to have a full stacked Rod of Ages before 25 minutes. That is huge for Remyrhe. He can now just... I mean, he's going to be able to pick up another item before his tiers even finish. That's how well he's doing in this game right now. And just watch him scale. He's just going to become so much of a threat. But Vi was looking for a gank in the bottom lane as well.
Yeah, and once again, Vi wasting a bit more time, not finding anything. You can see going equal with the Kazakhs, but those 2 assists are going to be pulling him slightly ahead of the Vi right now, trying to find something. And, you know, it's just not working out. I just don't see how these Vi picks, you know, it's a pick comp, but pick comps just haven't been working out today. But now Demacia going to get caught out trying to pull the damage through. Holy Grail doesn't get on the end of that one, and once again, just Vi looking for something, and it's going to be the ward there to spot him out, so he's not going to get any follow-up ganks for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he comes through with another Vault Breaker. He's still trying to put this pressure down, but, you know, this bottom lane is actually fairly even. It's 1 kill and a couple of CS the difference, and now look, it's Combustion that's coming down here. Can they find the gank that they're after?
Yeah, Combustion Spirit Rush in, gets binded up. That was actually beautiful from Country Cats. That would have been his life if he missed that. The Charm does make it out there, the Ignite as well, but the damage is just not enough. Assault and Battery in, but the Exhaust cuts the damage absolutely in half. Now that one guy trying to get him gets spot away, and a lot of damage pulled through the teleport from TTJ. Doesn't find anything, and it looks like they will have to back off this tower, so that will be their little makeup. But Zach's actually not up in the top lane to counter this.
Yeah, I mean, he really needed to be putting pressure right down right there, but they couldn't quite do that. Now they have 4 members on towards this dragon. Fizz still hasn't rotated. Tristana had to base. They just had nothing left, so this is a free and easy dragon, plus a turret. Even if they do end up trading 1 turret for it, it's going to be totally worth. Look at all the gold that they've got now. They're 3k gold up, and TTJ, he's going to make it back up to top in time to stop that push, but it's only going to be 1 turret traded in the mid lane, and maybe even a Fizz life as well.
Yeah. Foxay just trying to get out, but I don't think he's going to make it out. Playful Trickster over the wall. It's going to be alive for a few more seconds with a flash over. Combustion still finds the kill.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, he got a turret, but overstaying, over pushing, and they cleared that dragon incredibly quickly. Kazakhs has a quick dragon. Actually, let's keep an eye on this top lane turret situation, because Zach might actually get this one and might level it up, but if they trade it for a mid lane turret, it's not going to be worth.
Yeah, they do get it down, and it looks like the mid tower is going to go down as well, so it's going to be a fair trading of towers once again. Gugubear trying to do the best he can against TTJ, but TTJ just pulling the damage through. Probably can chase for a bit longer, but not too much longer. Zach's going to have that slow stacked up onto him to make sure he doesn't get away, but now Combustion, I think Gugubear knows what's going on here. Yeah, he knows Combustion's coming up. He's dropped that ward just in the right place. That one guy came up to assist, and now they're going to try to put pressure on this top tower for sure. Oh, Combustion actually gets caught out. The Charm on the chance, but it's a 2v4. And now that one guy going to go down first. That's going to be a kill going over to Zach, and 1 for Holy Grail as well. Finds the last hit onto Combustion. And that was a good counter, frankly. Good, good communication to start roaming up to that top lane after they saw the members walking up probably from those wards, and Gugubear just baits it up perfectly.
Yeah, that was really well baited out. A little bit of the overstay and not enough damage, and being able to do that one from JD and Pals, and almost levels the gold back up. It's only 1k the difference, but Jinx gets a lot of free levels, a lot of free gold, and everything that she really needs down this bottom lane. She's now completely Infinity Edge done for both 80 carries, so, you know, that's all well and good, but, I don't know, Jinx, just for me, she's a lot more consistent with her damage, and can put that AoE crit out over everyone. Can't, of course, obviously lifesteal off everyone in a team fight, but Tristana's focused on that one target. As soon as Rapid Fire wears off, her damage drops through the floor significantly, and she's no longer anywhere near a threat. And, you know, then there's this Rise that's going to come charging at her that she has to be incredibly aware of where he is at all times. He can't just get anywhere near her. If Ari gets on top of a rune-prisoned up Tristana, that is going to be a dead Tristana any day of the week. And, you know, there's always going to be trouble and always going to be a high amount of threat. And they always have to be aware of it, whereas, you know, there's only going to be a Fizz and Tristana, really the main threats that are going to be here for Swindrome.
Yeah, it looks like people moving up to that top lane once again. It's going to be a 3v2. If there was a fight up there, but Cortex trying to pull the damage through. May have regretted his decision. It looks like Foxay going to be helping him.
Factor any tier the Goddess is 3/4 stacked. And Rise is just continuing to become this threat. They have to deal with him now, and they've already realized that, hey, maybe we can't. Maybe we need to send 3 or 4 members to actually deal with him. And they need to do that now because he's got these items that are just passively scaling if they leave him alone. And they're almost finished scaling. Like, Rise is just going to come rock and shock in these team fights, and no one's going to be ready for it.
Yeah, I'd actually like to see Rise here just pick up the Glacier Shroud and just be completely...
Any damage threats, and I mean, now Guga Bear is actually going for some damage items, and I don't think that's the right choice, and here we go, a gank time.
Yeah, really, you only really want to build damage on Zac when you're winning the lane, and Guga Bear not in the position to do that, so he will be going down here up in that top lane. Combuskin comes up for the assist, and TTTJ definitely deserves another kill to add to his belt. Now a 3-0 Rise going to be pushing... will help defending that lane, but in the meantime, it looks like they trade the bot lane.
Yeah, I mean, they do surrender that bot lane turret, but it's more gold into the Rise. They're focusing a lot of their efforts on a Rise right now. Ari roamed up just to tag and assist. She could have probably roamed bottom and helped out with that turret push, but, grabbing some assist gold, grabbing some gold that's not, there, and, once removed from the map, can't be picked up again. That's the benefit of kills and assists, is they can constantly be picked up. Champions always respawn. That's the same benefit from Dragon and Baron. And by picking that one up, she's got herself onto a DFG right now, and she is in a significantly big position to look to blow up some of these squishier targets.
So yeah, we see again, Fizz has opted to pick up that Zhonya's again, which I don't really agree with right now. I mean, yes, it's going to help you throughout the fight, it's going to save you at least once, but at this point they really need Foxy to start pulling out damage. And it looks like Kotek's going to get caught out here. Combustion goes straight in. That one guy jumps straight on top. They are going to find the kill, and Chumble Waters was used as a disengaging tool, now trying to get onto this. Slow just onto the side. The flash in from TTTJ. Gonna find another. Combustion picks up that one, and that's a 2 for 0, and they are going to be able to push onto this mid tower for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Pushing onto this mid tower right now. They're going to have so much more global pressure. Uh-oh!
Oh, and the Zhonya's. The Zhonya's does keep him alive, but Guga Bear, this may have been a mistake. I'm not 100% sure what that ulti was used for, but now they're not going to have that pressure to fight, but they are actually doing quite a bit of damage. This is actually a lot better for them. Well, it's turned out a lot better for them than they probably expected, but it is going to force out JD and Pals, but it looks like they're just going to go straight for that Dragon. I think this is the wisest choice here for JD and Pals. Extend that gold lead from the Dragon and just keep themselves relatively high in this game, but I think they may have taken a bit too long. Everyone is now back up and sitting on half health, pretty much looking for a pick. The ward is down, so they know it's not being done right now. They know this is a bait, but they're going straight in anyway. Kotek going straight in, but it's not going to matter. Morgana's going to be the first one to die now. Kill threat goes to Rise, looking for another kill. That is going to be a trade. Rise will pick up his second kill of the fight, but Shyvana finds as well onto that one guy, but he's forced to jump out away from the Fizz and Holy Grail. Oh, sorry, Holy Grail. Just chilling. They are going to trade a 3 for 1 there, and that's definitely in the favor of JD and Pals.
Yeah, I mean, JD and Pals right now, look at Rise. 5-0-3, he's going to be going on for a Spirit Visage, bunch of CDR, bunch of stats for him. He's going to be regenerating massive amounts of health in the mid parts of these fights. With Tristana, I think she may have overextended here. She may have over-pressured this one.
Oh, and they're actually baiting this one out. They're waiting for the Rise, the Chumble Waters onto TTJ. Will they have enough time? Actually, yes, they do, and the shutdown as well. The damage was just enough, and they're going to pick up the blue buff as well, which add insult to injury. They're going to try to get out of here, and they're definitely going to make it. And that was the play they needed to make 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, absolutely. They needed that play a little while ago. I didn't expect... if I was playing as Rise there, I wouldn't have expected anyone to be hanging around in the jungle that far, especially because it was Tristana Fizz, 2 squishier members, up against... well, not even probably. It is the tankiest member of JD and Pals' team right now. But here comes Guga Bear.
Yeah, Guga Bear going straight in onto Demacia, trying to pull the damage through, and the ulti still not expended yet. Actually, because he had that up and he hasn't used it yet. He is going to go down without singly putting that down. And now the teleport from Rise trying to get into the TTJ. He's trying to get into range here. May have to burn a flash or two, but he doesn't actually have that up right now. Crunchy Carrot going to be the sacrifice here. He is going to most likely go down. No way to get out of that. He's going to pop the Soul Shackles, but not going to be able to do anything. He will go down.
Yeah, that was a really well done fight there from the guys from Swindrome. They just backed up, baited out the cooldowns, and continued to make their advantages. Now they're 5k up. They're about to take a dragon. They're about to take so much of a lead in this game, and we just can't emphasize the importance of the Rise enough right now. And that one guy's going aggressive.
Yeah, he's maybe gone a bit too aggressive. Holy Grail tries to get in, and that is going to be Super Mega Death Rocket. Oh, and Holy Grail regrets everything. Demacia picks up the shutdown. Not the best onto the support, but it's not going to matter because they pick up the kill, and that's another thing to swing off. They will be able to pick up this blue tower for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And a turret just falling in the top lane. More and more gold finally coming back in to the pockets of JD and Pals. And Swindrome, I'm not sure if this game's going to be theirs.
Yeah, frankly, they've looked good all day, but right now they're falling apart. JD and Pals tearing through the box of Swindrome, and now they're going to be going straight for another tower. This bot tower not going to live very long. This Jinx has already picked up so much gold. That's a TP down, probably going to get there just in time to save that. Now looking for the fight. Oh, gets straight into Demacia. Drops the ulti as well. That one guy pulling the damage through, and Gugabet didn't even have any backup. I have no idea why he's initiating that fast, and he's probably going to go down as well. One more shot. Demacia will pick up another kill for himself. Now, going to be able to pick up this tower, and again, maybe a bit of miscommunication here, but they're just getting paired apart once again and again, finding one man here and there, and JD and Pals are just capitalizing perfectly off it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he was looking to initiate there from Gugabet, but his team got zoned out so hard by the Rise.
Oh, and Demacia looks to go down. That will be the dot doing the damage, and now Holy Grail feels big enough. He's looking to go straight back in. Foxay picks the double boss back for his team, but they are sitting at a 8k deficit already, and they really need to regroup here, work together as a team. They have the damage. They just need to focus it on the right people.
Yeah, absolutely. As soon as they start getting the damage down onto the right targets, there's still going to be a threat from Swindrome, but I'm not convinced. I think JD and Pals have really got this one. They've got the item thresholds they need. Look at the builds coming out from Kha'Zix. He's actually gone for a Tiamat, Hex Drinker, and Brutalizer. A bunch of items that are actually all very cost efficient once they're picked up. So we'll, have to wait. He's just going to continue scaling with portions of this build. But I definitely feel like he needs a tanky item. I'd really like to see from him a random Zoman. He's going to jump into that fight, stealth up with the ultimate, and then pop that random Zoman, and so many people are slowed up, and, it's going to make the rest of his team really, really strong, and just being able to chase around, follow up after some picks, and it just gives his team so much more gold value and ability to chase and hunt down the targets that they really want. So I really would like to see that one to be picked up from him, but obviously at the moment he says he's valuing damage and his team's valuing damage. But that's going to flow off incredibly quickly because you've got a Karma that's also focusing on damage. She's picked up the Mikhails. That's really nice for the utility and whatnot. The Frost Queen's Claim is there as well. But now she's going for a Haunting, guys. She's going for cooldown reduction on those boots as well. So she's actually looking for some more damage. And her team doesn't really need that. They have a lot of damage, a lot of burst potential. And I'd really, again, like to see that Kha'Zix and also the Karma looking to go a little bit tankier and just keep the team alive a lot longer so they can look to do a lot more.
Yeah, frankly, they're just pulling the ultimates down, and now Gugabet thinks this is the time to go in, but Holy Grail is not in any position to go in. That's one Q away from anyone to take down to Holy Grail, and he's going to have to back. They're going to have this free time here to respite for a second while the minion wave does push up, but frankly, that was really a really crucial, two really crucial ultimates burnt for no reason.
Yeah, absolutely. Here we go again.
Yeah, they jump back in, but they don't have enough here. Gugabet going to be dropped down. No passive revive for him. He will definitely be down for a while in this tower. Not looking to last much longer. They will have Epic Ace being able to poke away on that one for a long. It is. The death timers aren't too long, aren't terribly long at least. It's only 30 minutes to the game, but the towers are getting shredded down. There's a lot of damage coming out. Epic Ace catch on the side. TTJ quite low, but Gugabet, you do not have enough damage to take down anyone. You are going to go down once again, and no passive means going down for sure, and this will most likely be the win here for JD and Pals. They're trying to take that last tower down, but they're playing it safe. They don't want to get caught out by anything, so they are just going to back it out here. I think this is very wise. They have the top lane getting pushed on, so that's going to be dealt with that one guy, and they're trying to catch on to you, but Epic Ace gets the Mikhail, so he's going to live And Cortex just keeps on getting kited, but that's a great finding on Kabuskin. He will go down, shut down to Holy Grail, now jumping through, looking for a second kill. Sadly, that's going to be Holy Grail just barely just not getting onto there and actually just dodges past the Kirk through.
Yeah, I mean, if Holy Grail had picked up another one right there, he probably could have wiped the floor with them. They could have looked to continue on and pick up this mid lane turret, but they haven't got enough pressure on the map. Dragon's spawning in 10 seconds, and I really feel as though that's the only objective right here that Swindrome can take. That they're just not strong enough to fight anything. Zach's initiations, Gugabear, I mean, he was going great in the last game. He was getting directly in onto towards the backline, and that was doing his team all the world of good. They were destroying the other team's AD carry, but he's just had no impact at all in this game. He's still looking to pick up portions for his third item when most people in the game are already 5th, 6th item slots on the other team. There's just so much damage, so much tankiness, just stats all around the board here for the other team. And well, GD and Pals, that's why they're stronger. They got the gold. It's out to a 12k margin, and there's not much that they can really do.
Yeah, frankly, it's only going to get worse from here on. As long as they play it correctly, you know, no more crazy dives. That one guy really needs to pick up, as you said, a defensive item. He's just getting focused out too fast. He needs to. They are going to have those minions pushing through the mid lane while they're sieging up this bot lane. And Epic Ace just going to get those free hits. Actually has the mana to just spam those rockets out again and again. So he will be able to do that. And there's just the disengaged traps. It's going to put them at a nice line to make sure that they don't get engaged on anytime soon.
Yeah, absolutely. They're basically the same zoning tool as Caitlyn traps. They just obviously don't last as long, but you can set 3 up instantly. And just incredible for setting up tower sieges like this one. This is Jinx's game. This is exactly where she needs to be. And look at this. There's nothing left here. And here goes the engage.
Yep, they have to go straight in. Gugu Bear jumps straight into the middle. Shum the Waters through the middle of the fight as well. That one guy gets very low. Jumps out straight at the end, but Cortex so low. He makes it actually through there. But they jump back in for the re-engage. Now Combuskin picks up one for pretty much everyone on the team. And it looks like they're trying to pick up the last 2 kills, but the GGs have been thrown out. Gets the 1 kill. Foxay, that's not going to be enough, sadly, for you. And this will be the Nexus going down in the terms of JD and Pals taking down Swindrome after a great morning start for them.
Yep, absolutely. They're not quite done yet, though. And there's some more kills. Anyway, but it was just a really, really well played game from the guys. On the side of PJ and Pals, because they just waited for Ryze to become this big monster. Nobody dealt with him, and then they just used him to snowball the rest of the team into a mid-game powerhouse as well. And that's really where the game hung on. This Ryze that was just never ever pressured, just left alone to free farm, left alone, finally roams down, and he's just so big and such a monster, no one in that game could deal with him. And you just see the results in the victory right there. Ari wasn't, you know, a huge threat, but all of a sudden she became a big threat just because of how big Ryze was.